We're talking about Sean Hannity's name, which was announced in a courtroom in New York City yesterday as being the third client that Michael Cohen was trying to protect. Michael Cohen's attorney had said, look, we don't want to tell the name unless you can tell us, Judge, that my client won't be disbarred for ethics problems. And the judge said, no, I'm ordering you to tell me. And so, okay, Sean Hannity. And then Hannity on his radio show, who apparently was aware that, because it made big news, he's like, I don't know why CNN and MSNBC and NBC, they're going crazy as if this is a big deal. And then, of course, here's Fox News. Hannity opens the show with his own, oh, okay, here it is on Fox News.
For today, have we learned anything new?
We have learned a lot new, and they are still going inside federal court right now. The federal judge in this case ordered Michael Cohen to be here in person to answer questions directly related to who his clients are. She wanted to know how many he had and exactly who they were. Now, Cohen's legal team complied and named names this morning, sort of, in a court filing as requested by the judge, submitting a short list of 3 names. President Trump, GOP fundraiser Elliot Broidy, and a third person that they did not identify at today's court filing. Now, in today's proceedings that are underway right now, Stephen Ryan, one of Cohen's attorneys, was asked by the judge to specifically name the other name because they said it would not fall under attorney-client privilege to withhold that name. And he stood up and named him as Sean Hannity. So moving on to the rest of what's happening today.
Now, Shep Smith, go to the beginning of this clip because Shep's, is this Shep Smith? Yep. Okay, he's super excited about this, but they're not shooting him straight on so that you can't see just how broad the smile is on his face because he knows it's Sean Hannity. And the look on her face where she's like, I'm going to have to say this. And the producers are going like, just run B-roll over the reporter as she's saying this name, right? Like Shep Smith is just like probably laughing.
He's dabbing.
This is when they cut back to Shep Smith. He was doing this.
For today, have we learned anything new?
We have learned a lot new.
Look at the look on her face. It's like, because most reporters, they're psyched, right? Like, I'm going to finally get my chance on camera today. And she's just like, yeah, we've learned a lot new. Let me just draw this out. Say Sean Hannity. Moving on.
Decent couple of years for Shep.
Yep.
Ailes is dead. Hannity's embarrassed. He's doing all right.
Yeah, there you go.
O'Reilly's out.
Now, like I said, Sean Hannity on his radio show pretended like, I don't understand why everybody's going crazy over this. And then, of course, he gets on TV and he does this.
All right, we've got to start tonight with this. Today, for hours and hours, the media has been absolutely apoplectic and hyperventilating over some breaking news that I was listed in court today as a client for longtime Trump attorney Michael Cohen. Take a look what I mean.
He stood up and he said the name Sean Hannity.
How did he say it? Was it like Sean Hannity? Sean Hannity.
Sean Hannity.
Sean Hannity.
Sean Hannity. Sean Hannity.
Sean Hannity.
Sean Hannity.
Sean Hannity. Sean Hannity.
I'm not that vain, but in a few minutes...
Yeah, I mean, first of all, it was all one TV show. It was all the same half hour on CNN when it was happening.
There was this block on me on CNN where they kept talking about me.
Where they kept saying my name.
My name was mentioned as part of a potential vast criminal enterprise involving the president that I propagandize on behalf of every night. Apparently, they got all hyperventilating about it.
You know what I would have said? That's my name. Don't wear it out.
Yeah, there we go. I can tell you how I was talking about yesterday was Sean Hannity.
On Hannity.
I'm not that vain, but
Yeah,
in a few minutes we will address all the rampant speculation. They couldn't be more wrong in so many ways. But first, we have a lot more important news to cover, including the ongoing situation in Syria tonight. Now, you wouldn't know.
Somebody found Syria on the map.
The only other time that Sean Hannity's ever said he would prefer to talk about Syria was like
I
when
want
he
to
was,
talk
like,
about
when his
foreign policy.
wife was trying to accuse him of like fucking up somehow. I got more important things. Syria.
That's right. Slight story today that Bill O'Reilly. Well, let's cut to Syria.
Syria. That's what's going on. Come on, people.
Before I establish my credibility as a news anchor, let's talk about some other stories.
Yes. All right, now we're finally. So, Sean Hannity starts his show off. The breaking top news is, of course, everybody talking about him, but he needed to move on to more important things. But we'll loop back to try and bring on the biggest of sycophants. Those people really, really trying desperately either to avoid being Donald Trump's lawyer, like one of these guys, and the other one who's desperate to be Donald Trump's lawyer, Alan Dershowitz. Let's see if I can't get these guys to justify my behavior. But the best part of this clip is in the corner. You can see, and this is the last refuge of a scoundrel, is having Lanny Davis coming up on your show. Okay, but here he is. Now, this is Sean with Dershowitz, and this other dude, too, was the guy who rejected Trump to be his lawyer.
Say all sorts of crap on TV.
Right, I'll say all sorts of crap on TV. I'll go in and meet with the president. I don't think I'm quite the right guy for you. There we go.
The court and for apparently lying regularly to Congress.
Alan Dershowitz, Professor, I know you don't like criminalization of political differences.
No.
By the way, I share that. And it's gotten as worse as it's ever been. But if you're going to go to a FISA court to spy on an opposition party campaign in an election year.
Pause it. What is the opposition party campaign in the FISA court? Is he presuming that there are members of the Obama administration are spying on the opposition campaign? Is that what he's saying? Okay.
You're going to use unverified, uncorroborated documents that were bought and paid for by one campaign.
Okay. The FISA court was not basing their information on this. The FISA court was basing it on the report of an Australian diplomat who came in and said, I had a very strange conversation with the Trump.
Just talked with a troubled young man.
Yeah, troubled young man.
He used to be at the Model UN. Now he works for Donald Trump. And apparently there's a global conspiracy.
Might want to check that one out. Good.
Paying against the other, and a foreign national using Russian sources of all things to get it. Is that a crime in Alan Dershowitz's book?
Well, first of all, Sean, I do want to say that I really think that you should have disclosed your relationship
wait,
Cohen.
Wait a second. I'm sorry. Did you just cut something out of there, Matt? Like his response to the question? Or did he just say, Sean, you should let me weigh in on the fact that you did something unethical? The Dersh finally trying to. Apparently, Jeffrey Toobin is still in his head. Toobin said the other day,
have to go to the occasional Harvard cocktail party, Sean. I'm going to take this total give me and embarrass you on national television.
This is called low-hanging fruit.
What's his book?
Well, first of all, Sean, I do want to say that I really think that you should have disclosed your relationship with Cohen when you talked about him on this show. You could have said just that you had asked him for advice or whatever, but I think it would have been much, much better had you disclosed that relationship. You were in a difficult situation,
If you understand the nature of it, Professor, I'm going to deal with this later in the show.
No, I understand.
It was minimal. I put out a statement about it.
De minimis,
and that would have been fair to say that it was minimal.
That's
Look,
fine.
you were in a tough position because A, you had to talk about Cohen, and B, you didn't want the fact that you had spoken to him to be revealed. And you had the right, by the way, not
I
to
do,
have your
don't I?
identity
I have the right to
revealed.
privacy.
Right.
I
But,
do.
you know, it's a complex situation when you're speaking
It was
to
such a
millions
minor,
of people.
Professor. It was such a minor relationship
So
in
minor.
terms
You
of,
should have
and
said
it had
that.
to do with real estate and nothing political.
I understand that. As far as Comey is
You know,
It's all real estate.
it is true that you do have a right to privacy, but there probably is, even in Sean Hannity's world, the idea that, like, if I have somebody I'm doing business with, maybe I should just slightly reveal that.
It's a hard situation, Sean, because on one hand, I want to take the total give me to not completely relegate myself to Newsmax ethnic cleansing columnist. But at the same time, I would really like you to keep booking me to spread racism and bizarre defenses of the president when I'm not teaching at Harvard.
You can understand my dilemma.
Yes. So
is a
watch me
dilemma.
try to thread this needle, not something you would understand.
It's hilarious to watch Hannity try to mesh that it's significant enough for him to get attorney-client privilege, but not significant enough for him to disclose.
Right. And it's also like, I mean, I have to say, like, I mean, whatever. Maybe it's totally benign.
Yeah,
but like
I mean,
the
he
idea
could
that
be-
you're saying when you live in New York City, like the whole concept of real estate takes like a very different. It's not like, you know, maybe it was just help me buy a house, but it's like that could literally be anything in this place. Like anything. It could be a major business investment.
It's gonna be something like and I don't know if it'll ever come out, but it would be something like, where can I live to avoid New York City taxes? Or
Sean
something
fronted
like,
some money on a human trafficking shipment. Fine.
or it's going to be he's embarrassed that he's buying like a $45 million house.
Right.
This is like something
something like that.
Something like
Totally.
that that's going to hurt his sort of everyman credibility.
That's exactly it.
It's something like that.
Poor
would be
Sean.
my guess.
You just look at that guy.
Because I don't, the one thing about Sean Hannity is I don't think that he's got, like, I don't think there's like payoffs here with the third.
That guy should be teaching. He should be like a JV baseball coach in Roosevelt, maybe occasionally selling a car. This is all totally above him. It's actually kind of sad.